Welcome. In this video I'll be demonstrating complete Linux basics till advanced for hackers. So why Linux matters for hackers? So Linux underpins the infrastructure hackers usually attack, and the infrastructure they attack from most internet facing servers, cloud instances, containers, IoT devices, and major penetration distribution like Kali, Parrot OS, Black Arch run on Linux. Fluency here isn't optional, it's the baseline. So with that said, let's jump into file system hierarchy. So Linux organizes everything under a single root called /. Knowing what lives where tells you instantly where to look for credentials, configs, logs, and privilege escalation vectors. So everything in Linux is a file. So / is the root of everything. /bin or /user/bin is essentially the user binaries like ls, cp, and bash exist in this /bin directory, and /sbin for system binaries like admin tools like fdisk and ip tables exist in this, and /etc for system-wide configuration files. So this is the most important directory for hackers. And /home for user home directories. /home/my name is my home directory. And /root is for root users home directory. And /var is for variable data, logs, mails, and caches exist in this. /var/log system logs critical for forensics and log analysis exist in this, and /temp for temporary files, which is world writable, and it is a common attacker staging ground where we stage the particular exploits that are transferred from our machine to this and run those particular exploits from this temp directory. /opt for optional third-party software, and /dev for device files that represent hardware as a file. /proc for virtual file system like live kernel and process info are displayed in /proc, and /mnt for and /media for mount points for external drives like NFS and other file systems, and /user for user programs and libraries and docs, where the word lists are stored in user share word lists and user share sec list. So that is all about file system hierarchy. Now let's do ls to list all the files, and cd .. to move to the previous directory and do an ls. So we get all the files in the home folder. Let's do cd linux to catch the directory. Cd is the command to catch the directory, and let's do ls again to list the files. And we can see the file system _hierarchy file. Let's do ls -ail -a to view both the hidden files as well as the files which are regular. So when we create a file called .file, that file is hidden. So when we hit -a, that will be displayed, and -i for inode number and long listing. So file system hierarchy belong to the user my name and group sudo, and this is the number of bytes it has acquired, and this is the particular modified time that it displays. And read, write, and execute are the permissions that can be given to a file. So D is for a directory. So let me create a directory and explain. So it's make directory dir to create a directory, and if we do ls-ail, so d is specified here, that it essentially specifies that the particular file is a directory, and hyphen is for a regular file, and we have a permissions rwx, which is for read, write and execute respectively. And so these are we can type the command id and hit enter. We will get the user id for the particular user. So 1000 is the user id for my particular user. So we do ls-ail, and this is the bytes. So this is the particular command. So look how sudo is the group for file system hierarchy. I'll be explaining how to change the ownership of a particular file as well. And so I'll be also showing how to change the permissions for user group as well as other. So we can do change mod or chmod 644, or let's do rather 444 for read, or let's do 754, so that we cover all the permissions, try to cover all the permissions, and we do chmod 754, and we'll change the permissions for hello. Look that the hello has only read and write permission, so we will give execute permission for user and some permissions for group and other. Now if we do ls-ail and we look for the file hello, we have given execute permission as well as read and execute for group as well as read for other. So 754 directly translates into rwx, rx and r. We can also give a write permission to group using g plus x, so group and plus w. So sorry, it is g plus w, not g plus x. So we can give write permission to the group, and there we go. We have the write permission for the group as well. So understanding user group and other permissions in Linux is really important, because you'll be giving certain executable permission to a particular shell script so that it executes. So that is why you need permissions in the first place. So we have user group and other, we have the permissions rwx. So R we can specify as 4, write we can specify as 2, and execute we can specify as 1. The same is for group as well. So the particular when we specify 7, it is read plus write plus execute, which is 4 plus 2 plus 1, which is 7. And when we specify 6, it is for read and write. When we specify 3, it is for write and execute. When we specify 1, it is for only execute. So you can make all the combinations in that. So 754, which is for rwx, I'll just type it here, user group rwx. And for a group, so for the group we have just R and X, no W, no write permission, that's what I mean. And for other, it is just read. So when you have no permission which is set, you just specify it with hyphen and R and double hyphen or double minus, however you want to read it. So we have to specify the file name or the directory name. So if you want to add permissions, so you do it, you can also perform like a change mode u plus x and the file name, which will give executable permissions to the particular user. And if you want to remove a permission, you do change mode and u minus x and the file name. Similarly, it is for a group as well as other, where you will be specifying G and O instead of U. So it is add permission for user and remove permission for user. So for a group, for groups mention as G, and for other mention as O. So we do change mode G plus R, which is group permission for a read permission for a group, and that is all about user, group and other, and permission set to them. So now let's go to shell navigation and file operation, basics of that. Print working directory to print the current working directory, ls-la or AIL to long list all the files with the inode number. So inode number is essentially metadata for a file, where except the file name and the file information, you will all the metadata related to that file will be stored. So let's do cd hyphen to move to the previous directory. When we do cd var www html, so if we do cd minus, it will move to the previous directory which it was navigated to. Jump back to the previous directory and cd home linux, and let's do cp copy command. So cd is for catching the directory, and let's do a directory called old. It's just a directory name I'm giving. You can specify anything if you want. So let's do cd old, and no files are there currently. And let's do nano file name as text file, and let's type some contents into the file, like this file will be copied, right? And let's do cd dot dot to move to the previous directory, and cd old, and make a directory in the old directory as hello, and catch that directory, and nano hello world. That's just the name of the text file which we're giving, and let's type in hello world. So I just want to create a folder structure and show you the tree command as well as copying recursively using cp-r. So cp-r, or let's do tree dot. So when we do tree dot, we will get old and the directory structure like this. So old has an other directory called hello, and hello has a file called hello world, and old has a file called the file name. And let's do tree dot again, or let's do cp-r source and destination. Actually source and destination doesn't exist. So when there is no file like source, it gives us error no such file or directory. And let's do ls. So cp-r, we have to give the option as old, and we give as new. So what will happen is essentially all the files which are there in old will be copied to new recursively. So man cp, this is how to view the manual of any particular command in Linux, and -r is copying recursive directories recursively. So that is copy command. And let's do mv old to new. So what happens is all the contents of old will be moved, or will be cut and pasted to the particular new directory. Once we do tree dot, we can see all the contents of the old directory are moved into the new directory. So let's remove this, and let's try to rename new. So move command can be used both for cut and paste the directory, or moving the directory or a file, or just renaming the file itself. Let's do rm-rf old for recursively and forcefully deleting the old directory. And let's do cd // and cd linux to catch the directory Linux. Now if we do tree dot, so we have this new folder. Now to rename it, we do mv new, and then we can rename that file as any file name, any directory name, sorry, it's a directory. So we can make it as newest, or that's not the right word, we can make it as recent, right? So once you rename it, what happens is when we do tree dot, so the directory name will be renamed, it will not be moved, and that is how you use the move command or mv command. So move or rename a file. So we can do mv logon, and we can specify the target directory as recent, and logon will be moved to recent. So if we do tree dot, so we can see the file logon has been moved to the directory recent. And mv is for both renaming as well as cut and paste, kind of moving the file or directory to another directory. So that is all about move command. And let's do rm-rf old for recursively rm-rf recent to recursively and forcefully delete the recent directory. If we just specify rm-f, it will throw the error that it's a directory. We have to do rm-rf. So be careful with this command, because you don't need to do rm-rf / and then no preserve root. That will essentially destroy your Linux system. So let's do ls-ail, and it will list all the files in the particular directory. Now let's see another command called chown, which is the change ownership of a file. We can change the ownership, group ownership for file to my name. So we can change it to Arvinda, and that particular group will be changed in the file system hierarchy for the file system hierarchy. So the syntax is chown user colon group and the file name, target file name. So this will essentially change file ownership to the particular user and to the particular group which is being specified. And let's do ls, and let's do file file system hierarchy, and let's see what kind of file is that. It will identify the file type by magic bytes, not extension. So it correctly identified the file as text, UTF-8 text, because even though the extension of file system hierarchy was not given as .txt, it identified using the magic bytes. And let's do it for a PNG file. It will show it as a PNG image data with the resolution, with RGBA and 8-bit color. So that is all about file command. And let's do stat. So this will give us a detailed metadata like size, timestamps, inode number, permissions. It will give us all the metadata for a particular file. Let's do history piped to grep pass star, and grep is to search to search for a pattern in a file. So when you do man grep, you will find grep search manual page for grep where it tells us that it searches for a pattern in each file, and we can use certain options or as regular expressions for searching the patterns, for creating the patterns and searching them in a file. So -I, some useful commands are -I for insensitive search, -E for extended regular expression, and for -E for regular expression, -I for ignore case, and -F for file, obtain patterns from file 1 per line, and -V or for inverted the sense of match, and -Q for quiet or silent, and -A for after the context and before context. That means it will display a specified number of lines after the pattern match or before the pattern match. So history piped, so that vertical line which you're seeing, it's known as pipe. So that pipe redirects the history's output to the grep pattern search. So history output is a lot of commands, so 3173 commands. So these are all the commands that we have previously executed. Yeah, right. So change ownership, these are all the recently we executed all these commands. So that is stored in bash history bash history, so bash underscore history. So that file it will be stored, and history command will display all the commands which were executed. And when we pipe it to grep, it will redirect all the output from history to grep, and it will search for a pattern called pass star, and it will do a case insensitive search. So pass star essentially specifies 0 or more characters. Star is for 0 or more characters, and dot is for 0 or 1 exactly one character, right? Now let's do text processing using grep sed, awk, as well as find command. So almost every enumeration task boils down to filtering text, and these 4 tools handle nearly all of the enumeration. So which is grep, sed, awk, and find. So let's do grep -i, and -i is for case insensitive search. That means both the lowercase and uppercase will be searched. In the file config.php, we need to specify the target file where the pattern will be searched, and let's do cat config.php, or before viewing it, let's do the same command but pass .star, right? And let's hit enter, and we'll get all the lines which have pass in their all the lines which have pass as the search string, right? So now let's do dot. So just a correction, so dot is for exactly 1 character, and star is for 0 or more characters. So combining them will give us 1 or more characters. So just ignore whatever I'm typing here. So just know that dot is for exactly 1 character, and star is for 0 or more characters, and combining them will give you 1 or more characters. So dot star is a combination that is used generally. So when we do pass dot, or when we do pas dot, so it exactly matches for 1 character. You can see it here in the red, whatever it is showing. So pa and exactly 1 character, pas and exactly 1 character, pass and exactly 1 character. So that is how you search in using grep. So grep stands for global regular expression print, and that's just a name given to searching the regular expressions command. And so now we can do another grep search. So let's do final. Okay, just this conclusion is wrong because we are doing dot for exactly 1 character, and not 0 or 1, it's exactly 1 character. And star is for 0 or more characters, 0 or more, not 1 or more. And it's just that I didn't find it. I found it out recently, and combining gives us 1 or more characters. So we can, I'll show another command, which is echo command. So echo command is used to print or echo the particular text which is there after the echo command, and we can redirect this to a file, right? So 1 angular bracket will overwrite, and 2 angular bracket will concatenate the contents. So that is how you redirect the output of echo. And this is exactly redirected to a file. bit slow, right, so that you understand everything. So let's do so we did grep-i pass.star config.php. If we want the lines before and after the context of pattern matching, we do -a10, and we do -b10, so that we get 10 lines before and after the particular pattern match. So we get the database configurations like db host, db user, db password, as well as db name. So this is to get the database configurations, and we can log in if it is a MySQL service which is running. We can log in using MySQL-u for username, -p for specifying the password. Now let's move on to our next grep command, which is grep-rn pass.star. So rn for recursively searching, and n is for searching for the line number, and I is for case insensitive search, which we have seen in the previous case, and we do /var/www. So it will search in the directory var www, and it will list out a lot of content. So look for configs PHP files that has the password. So essentially these many number of string matches are present. If we look into that, we get the file name, the line number, as well as the pattern match which is present. So recursively search, case insensitive search with recursively do a case insensitive search along with displaying the line number is what we did in the previous command. So let's do cat file, and we'll get the contents of the file, and let's do rm-f file to remove the file, and let's do echo. So when you have, we can echo this command to the file, but we need to use single quotes in this case, because that will essentially mean that pass.star is a command. So let's do nano file, and we describe these options. So I is for case insensitive search, and n is for displaying the line number, and r is for recursively searching the pattern. So r is for recursive search, so it will search for the pattern in the directories, subdirectories, and subdirectories of the subdirectories, and so on. And now let's move on to another grep command. So we do grep-e for extended grep search, and extended regular expression, and if we do file, we search for this pattern. I'll explain the pattern in detail, but let's do file.txt, and I guess we don't have any kind of if we do list.txt, we don't get any result. I'll explain why. So when we do nano file, and let's type in some IP address. Let's type in 172.20.10.13, and let's go down and let's do another IP address, which is 10.10.01. Now let's run the same command by specifying the target file as file, and we get 2 IP address. So this particularly matches the IP address in a particular target file. I'll explain why is this regular expression or pattern used and how exactly it works. So let's echo it into the same file. And when we do nano file, so we get this particular grep command. So what does square bracket mean? Capital E is for extended regular expression, and square brackets is for characters, match the characters or match the numbers from 0 to 9, match the numbers from 0 to 9, any single number like 1 or 2 or 0. It starts from 0, right? 0 or 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 9. And flower brackets for matching, repeating the number 1 to 3 times. So match 1 to 3 characters which is being specified. Either it can be 1 character or up to 3 characters. And backward slash dot to match the dot character. It is not for exactly 1 character, it is to match the exact character which is the dot, because it is specified with backward slash. So match the exact dot character. And that is being repeated here. That means the same thing happens. And so 172 is matched, then the dot is matched. So the dot is matched, and 1 to 3 characters is matched again, and the same pattern is matched for exactly 3 times, right? 3 times the previous character is being matched. So match exactly 3 times. So that will give us our IP address. So 172, that number is being matched by, and then dot 20, dot 10, then dot 13 is being matched. So 3 times it is being matched, and we will get any IP address starting from 0.0.0.0 till 254.254.254.254, or maybe 255 even, because that's a broadcast. We usually don't go up to 255. And now let's go to find command, and in the find command we find for the particular files from the root directory which have the permissions permissions SUID. For SUID you will specify as 4000, and the type is file. We give it as -type file, and 2 greater than /dev/null to redirect the standard errors to dev null, so that we don't get any errors displayed on the console output. So that is how you find SUID binaries. We can also find any file such as config.php in the particular directory. If we specify dot, it is for current directory, and dash name config.php is for specifying the name of the file which we need to search. We can use some regex as well here, and dash ls to view the long listing of the file, and we can play around a little bit, and we can do di star and with the name specified as di star and type as directory. It will give us the dir directory, and if we specify it as file, it will not display the dir directory because dir is a directory, right? It's not a file. So that is how you filter out for directories as well as files. We just specify the hyphen type as f for file and hyphen type as d for directories. So this is how you use find command and search for directories as well as files. So we can do find / writable. We find the writable files or directories, and hyphen type f to find the writable files, and we will get a lot of files now because most of them are writable. So we found a lot of files under var www.html, a tutor, and if we search for directories, it will show this /temp directory. Let me show that again. So these are the writable directories, and we run the command again. So we have this /temp directory. I told you that this is where the hackers stage their payloads. So it is world writable directory, and we can jump to the next find command, which is find / name star.conf. We search for any of the config files using the name, specifying the name, and the modified time, which is specified by the option -m time, and in the last 7 days. So we need to specify -7 for that, and this will search for config files modified in the last 7 days. So find does a recursive search of files. It doesn't stop when it finds the first file name. It keeps on searching for recursively from the root directory up till the end of the file system. So we control shift C to control C to to terminate the command. And now let's jump to our stream editing, which is also sed command, and sed command is for stream editing. Let's see the manual page of sed. It is a stream editor for filtering and transforming text. So sed is a stream editor. So a stream editor is used to perform basic text transformation on an input stream or a file or an input from a pipeline. So it is used to edit the contents of a file. I'll show you just how we can edit the contents of a file. We can substitute a text into another text, and we can do it as globally, not just one first pattern match. So we do sed, we do first cat file.txt, and we can see hello world, some foo here, foo, and another foo. We see a lot of foos. Let's try to replace that into bar. so replacing all foo into with bar. So by using the set command, we will be able to replace all the foo with bar, and let's check how to do that. So let's do sed, and let's do s /foo /bar, and let's do /g for global, and let's do file.txt. So it converts everything into bar. So but there is a catch here, because when we do cat file.txt again, so everything is foo, but we just changed it into bar. So what went wrong? So we have to specify something known as -i option. So this is for inline replacement. That means it will permanently replace, and it will display. So when we do -i option, we see that foo has been replaced by bar, and this is how we use the sed command. And sed command can also be used to print the specified line numbers from say 10 to 20 with -n option, and 10, 20p and file.txt, and we will find that we got all the lines from 10 to 20. So this is stream editing a file, or stream editing an input. So -n is to quite suppress automatic printing of pattern space. So we can see all the options right here, and p print the current pattern space, and print up to the first embedded new line of the current pattern space. So that is how to use sed command. Next we will be moving to AWK, which is field-based text processing. So when we have something like a comma separated values like CSV files or any other file, we can use AWK for do text processing based on the field. And this manual page is provided as a courtesy, and GAWK is the implementation of the AWK programming language. It conforms to the definition of the language in POSIX 1003.1 standard. So this is a description of that. So it is so there is this GAWK is the implementation of AWK programming language, and AWK is the command. So it is used for field-based text processing. So let's look into that. So let's do AWK-F, and let's do colon, and let's do single quotes, print $1 and etc passability file. So first let's see how does the etc passability file looks, and it looks like this, which is separated with colon. So that is why we use the field separator or the -F, capital F option to separate these fields with colon. And when we do print $1, we will get the first column. So print $2 will get the second column, print $3 will get the third column, and so on. So etc passability file is essentially will get all the service users as well as the account users in a particular Linux system. and let's do cat etc passability, and let's do grep sh dollar. This will essentially give us all the users which have a shell, right? So either a zsh or a bin bash. And root user and Arvinda are the users, and Postgres is a service user, right? Now let's redirect that with to AWK, and this output will be redirected to the AWK command, and we specify -f for the field separator, which is colon, and we do print $1, so that gives us root, Postgres, and Arvinda. And let's do print $2, that gives us the second column, print $3 for the third column, and so on. So this is how you do field-based text processing using AWK. So we can even specify conditions inside the print, inside how you want the print to be displayed. So this pipe symbol is just a redirection. So it will concatenate all the contents of etc passability into sh dollar, and it will redirect it to AWK for field-based text processing. So now how to specify a condition in a particular AWK is we can do something like $3 is greater than $3 is equal to 0, right? So we do $3, right? The third column, yeah, that gives us the user ID. So the third column, if it is equal to 0, not a single equal to, a double equal to 0. So print $2, something went wrong. So let's do print $1, yes, and we get root. So the user ID is of the root is 0, and the user ID of my username is 1000. So that is how you specify. We can even give greater than or equal to. We will get the same command. We'll get the same output. So that is how you use a condition in AWK. Now let's move on to the next topic, which is process and service management. And let's do PS AUX to view all the running process with owner, with CPU and memory usage. So it will not give us a live snapshot, it will just give us one of the snapshots. It won't give you the live CPU and memory usage, it will just give you a snap of it. So that is PS AUX command. It will list all the processes. So with the user, with the CPU, with the memory usage, with the process ID, the PID is important, and it will give the start date and time, and it will give the exact command which is running. Now we can do ps-ef double-forest to view the processes in a parent-child exploitation chain or parent-child relationship. So kthread has these many number of child processes. So we can see a new column which is parent process ID. So the parent process ID for this kthread D is 0, and 2 is the parent process ID for a lot of process IDs, and for kthread-d, this are all the child processes, and so that explains our ps command. And we do top, we'll get a live view of resource usage per process. So it keeps on changing the CPU and the memory usage and the command, right? So next let's do htop. That is same as top, but the live resource usage, and it's a little bit more colorful. Now let's do ps aux, right, to list all the running processes with so let's create a process, right? Let's do no hop python 3 -m. Let's start the http.server on the port 80, and let's do ampersand for making it a background process, no hop, so that even if there is no terminal, it will be executed even if the terminal is closed. And we are running the HTTP server on port 80. So let's hit enter, and a process has started. So you can view it here, right? The exact command, which is python 3 -m http.server 80. And let's do ps it's not ps kill, it's just kill -9 and the process ID. So we copy the process ID, so do not kill the process IDs which are 0, 1 and 2, because they are running your system. Do not kill that by mistake, right? So kill the process which you have created, and -9 is for force terminating a process. So we shouldn't specify ps, right? We just need to specify kill -9 to kill the process or force terminate a process. So now let's do ps aux once you kill the process. So you can see that there is no python http server. And now let's move on to our next concept, which is check a systemd's service status or enumerate all. So we are still here, and -9 is to forcefully kill the process, right? Now let's do systemctl list units -units and type as service. -- type is equal to service, and this enumerates all active services. So we can get all the services which are listed. Let me type in my Kali password, and we get all the services that are presently running, loaded, failed, active, exited, active, running, and all these services we can find it here. So ufw.service is the uncomplicated firewall which I am using, which is loaded, active, and exited. So the description is uncomplicated firewall. So we will do systemctl status ufw.service. So we do sudo systemctl status ufw. That is the name of the service, and it will show that it is active, exited, the same things, and it is enabled as well. So we can enable and disable the ufw service. So we can do disable, and it will remove this particular ufw service, and we can do enable again. Never mess with the firewall, company firewall, or whichever firewall you are using. I'm just showing this for demonstration purposes. And let's do status, and you can see it's enabled. and let's do stop sudo systemctl stop ufw to stop the particular service. And once you do status, you will see that it is inactive dead, and you can do start or restart of the ufw service. Now let's do a status again. Once we start it, it shows that it is active, and it shows a green bullet point, right? So now to see the specific systemd services live logs, we can do journalctl -u and ufw.service and -f. So we can follow the live logs of a specific systemd service. So this systemd service, so we just did all of these things like stopping it, starting it, and enabling and disabling the uncomplicated firewall. So that has been logged in the journalctl. So that is for live logs of a specific systemd service. And let's quit this, right? Control C or Control Shift C to terminate. Now let's go to cron tabs. Let's do cron tab -L to view the listed cron tabs for the particular user, or let's do cat /etc/cron tab. So cron jobs are something which are being run periodically. These are the commands which are being run periodically in a particular system. We do cron tab -E to edit the cron tab. So if we give 5-star, it just means we are running it every minute, every hour, every day of the month, every month, and every day of the week. So that is what this means. And let's run a Netcat listener every minute. And once you do that PSAX, you will find that is not running. And if we start NCNLVP 9001 and we do PSAX, you see that 9001 is running now. Yes, it is running. So cron tab -E, and we delete this cron job, and we Control O and Control X to save and exit. It's Control O and Control X to save and exit, right, from Nano Editor. Now let's jump into our next topic, which is package management. We do sudo apt update. So apt is the aptitude package manager in Kali Linux. It may be different for Arch or Black Arch, which is Pacman, as well as Fedora and RHEL based system, which is DNF. So you do sudo DNF install and the package name. So we have to do sudo apt install package name, which is nmap. So we are trying to install a package called nmap, which is there for network discovery as well as network port scanning. So that is a tool used for network discovery as well as port scanning. So this is how you will install the packages. Next, dpkg-l to list the Debian packages which are being installed. Snap list to list the installed snap packages. So these are all the Debian packages which are installed, and snap list to view the snap packages. In case you're wondering how I'm clearing the screen, it is from Control L. Control plus L will clear the screen, Control plus U will clear the command. So now let's jump into networking fundamentals. So we do IPA, and it will show all the network interfaces and the assigned IP addresses, as well as Ethernet, Ethernet MAC address. And we have some of this down. So some of these network interfaces are down and some are up. So it will show the IPv4 address as well as IPv6 address, and it will show the subnet mask, which is 28. So we can view this using ifconfig as well. So ifconfig shows the IP address and the net mask. So subnet mask can be derived from this as well. And let's do IP route to display the routing table. And these are the routing table which are linked to, this is the routing table for the connections, and ss-tunnel p which shows the listening TCP as well as UDP ports and the owning processes. So it this shows the TCP listening port 9001 and the command, which was netcat. So that cron job is still being run, right? So let's do nc netcat -nlvp. So in case you're wondering, this is netcat listener. This is how to start a netcat listener. So it will be listening for a particular connection. It will be listening for an incoming connection from the victim. So you are the attacker, you will be listening on a port, and your victim will associate a connection with that particular port. So here you can see with the ss-tunnel p we have the netcat command with the process ID with all the details. So it's a TCP listening port on the port 1001 as well as 9001. We kill one of the process, and we kill both of these processes using the kill-9 command. And now we can go to the next command, which is the curl command. So this is command line utility for interacting with the URL, and we do -i option to get only the headers, and we specify the target website or target domain, and we get all this HTTP headers. So curl is an alternative for making URL requests. And let's do dig yahoo.com any, and we will get the DNS information. And once we get the DNS information regarding the mail exchange servers, the records, IPv4 as well as IPv6 records. So A is for IPv4, and 4 times A is for IPv6, MX is for mail exchange records, TXT for text records, and NS for name servers. So we can fetch all this using the dig command. And I have already demonstrated the netcat command to listen on a port, and LVP to listen on port 44444. So commonly this is used to catch a reverse shell in a lab. So that is why you start a netcat listener. So let's do the next command, which is nc-zv 172.20.10.1 and 1-1000. So this particularly does a port sweep with netcat. So a basic TCP port sweep with netcat. So it's a little bit slow because it's slower than Nmap. I don't think we will get any output from this. I guess we should move to the next command. So let's quit this and let's try it with sudo once. So we tried it with a different IP address, that didn't work. So this basically does is it will do a TCP port sweep, and it will indicate which our ports are open. So it checks for which ports are open. Let's try with the command with the sudo, and once let's try it with sudo, and if it doesn't respond, we will go to our next command. So it doesn't look like it's responding. So let's do ifconfig, and let's see the interface as we see the interface as $0. So we can do a tcpdump. So tcpdump essentially captures all the packets that are flowing through the network, interface card, as well as the interface which we specify. So let's do sudo tcpdump -i for interface, and we specify the interface as $0, which is our Wi-Fi interface, and we start capturing packets. So Wireshark is the GUI tool for capturing the packets, and tcpdump is the command line tool. So let's do ping google.com, and we can see ICMP packets. So ping uses ICMP protocol. That's why we are seeing ICMP packets flowing through the network, and we'll stop it after a certain amount of time, and we stopped it, and here we can see ICMP echo, reply, as well as request. So yeah, we can see ICMP echo, request, as well as reply, and that is all the ping command. And we also see DNS lookup for the domain google.com. We look for IPv4 address, IPv6 address. So A is for IPv4, 4 times A is for IPv6, and we get 8.8.8.8 as the DNS server for Google, and we get the IPv4 address for google.com as well. So we stop the capture, and let's look into uncomplicated firewall. So we do sudo ufw default to deny incoming as well as outgoing. So we need to do this because we are an end user, and we are not a web server. We are not particularly we're not interacting with incoming as well as outgoing requests. And let's do ufw status, and we see I have allowed some of the outgoing requests or outgoing connections, because we need 80.443 for HTTP HTTPS, 53 for DNS, and 123 for network NTP, network time protocol. And we can do sudo ufw allow out and specify the port, which is 23 for particularly telnet. So that is how you allow a port as well as deny a port. We can deny the port as well. So so that is how to deny the port. So no incoming and outgoing connections will be established on port 23 when we deny it as deny the outgoing connections as well as incoming. And let's do ntpdate time.nist.gov. So that is our server, and we sync with that server to get the particular correct date and time. So that's it from my side. Thanks for watching till now. Do check out my red teaming or ethical hacking videos from the other playlist, and please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and just watch the part 2 of this Linux essentials for hackers from basics till advanced. And so I'll let the operator take over, and thank you for watching till now, and please like and sub, so it helps me make more quality content like this. And thank you.